Hey guys, Black Moonflower here with an OU battle against RoshiPKMN. Starts off with my Gengar against his Gliscor, and I open up with a Shadow Ball and I get the special defense drop while he sets up Stealth Rocks, and then switches out into Jirachi, who takes the Shadow Ball pretty well but gets the special defense drop also. And then I just decide to HP Fire here, see if I can maybe kill it, but it lives by just like a little bit, so it gets its wish off. And then he decides he's going to switch out into Heatran in case I decide to HP Fire again, but I don't. I use Shadow Ball instead and get another special defense drop, but it pretty much doesn't matter because he got the wish and Dragon Pulses me, but it does a little bit more than half, so. But I got the Parahacks, which is cool, and then I just kind of over predicted here and used Shadow Ball, so he took out my Gengar with Dragon Pulse. So I send in my Manectric. I know it's an NU and this is an OU battle, but I decided to be different. And so I just used my HP Ice on this Jirachi. Took 2 turns to kill it, but I just didn't want to overpredict anything since I'm scarfed. So out comes Dusknoir, and I switch out into my Skarmory, not knowing exactly what this thing was going to do, but it's a sub Focus Punch Dusknoir, so I'm like, oh fuck. But I know it's probably not going to do too much to me because of Uber Defense. So yeah, I just start setting up entry hazards on it. He switches out into his Starmie, and I don't know how, but I managed to predict the switch and blew out the Starmie into Gliscor, who also can't really do anything against my Skarmory. But he uses Roost while I just set up more stuff. And then he Stone Edges me and doesn't really do shit. I set up more spikes, and then in comes Starmie again, but I just blow it right back out, which was awesome because I got to do that like twice. It was cool. And then Weavile takes some entry hazard damage, and then switches out into Starmie again, but this time it stays, I believe. Yep, I just set up spikes again. And then I decide I'm going to switch out because I'm not exactly sure what type of set this Starmie is. And it turns out it's a rapid spinner, so I could have stayed in and just like blown it out again. But it got the Parahacks from my static, so that was cool. But he switches out into Heatran, who dies from my Signal Beam, and out comes Gliscor again, and I'm like, oh no, you don't. But predicted my switch and used Stone Edge instead of Earthquake, but that didn't really matter. And out comes Starmie again while I set up my rocks. And I think I switch out here, yeah, into Manectric, but the Surf kills me, which was gay, so. But anyway, I send in my own Starmie, and I kind of overpredicted here and used Ice Beam, but I managed to get the Freeze Axe, which was awesome because he probably would have just Thunderbolted me right there and I would have been like totally dead. But then here comes Weavile, and I just am stuck in the Ice Beam, so I just keep using it and managed to take out Weavile before it even does anything, so that was cool. And then out comes Dusknoir again, so I just switch in Skarmory again just to try to mess with it a little bit. And then he sets up his Focus Punch while I Roost, and that nullifies my Flying type half, so Focus Punch is now super effective, which I guess probably wasn't the best idea to do, but I figured I would just try to like stall him out or something, since Roost isn't affected by pressure. So it just keeps doing this for a while. I Roost, he Focus Punches, but then he decides to Pain Split here. I'm not exactly sure why he did that because I ended up gaining a little bit of HP. But I ended up blowing him out and bringing in Starmie again, which was not good because he just Thunderbolts me and I die. So I send out my own Starmie again, and then just decide to cut the bullshit and go straight for Thunderbolt. Then take out the Starmie, and then in comes Gliscor. I'm locked into Thunderbolt, so I just switch out into my Scizor, who takes the Earthquake pretty well, actually, but since Gliscor's faster than me, he gets 2 off. But luckily I have Roost, so it just keeps Earthquaking, and this turns into like a little mini stall war, where I just keep roosting back the health. But he missed on a Stone Edge here, so I go back up to full, which was cool. And Earthquakes again, and I just decide to Aerial Ace here, see how much damage I can do, even though I know Gliscor's got like crazy amount of defense. So we just both Roost here, and he gets his crit with his Stone Edge, which was bullshit. But so I just decided to Bullet Punch here because I'm not exactly sure if I would have been able to live another Earthquake, and I just wanted to get more damage on it. So Zora faints, and I send in my Infernape, and he switches out into Dusknoir. But I was just using Flare Blitz, so I just instantly killed that thing, which is awesome because I did not want to deal with more substitute shit. And then here comes Gliscor again, and then Flare Blitz and dead. So that's a good game right there. That was 2-0, I believe. Good game, Roshi. That was awesome. I believe he has this up already on his channel, and I'll be posting this video as a response to his. But anyway, yeah, that was really cool OU battle, even though I decided to bring in NU just for the hell of it because I could. So, anyway, that's it for me. Black Moonflower out.